uplifting family institution through the Malaysian Family Declaration. EC begins preparations for Sarawak State polls. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. And you're watching the evening edition of News on 2. And I'm Muhammad Amin Carlos. Now, the Malaysian Family Declaration, or DKM, will be part of a national agenda so that all parties place the family as a priority in all plans and actions. Now, speaking at the launch in Cyberjaya today, Deputy Prime Minister Dato Sri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail said DKM outlines 6 principles contained in the National Family Policy, or DKN, in line with the aspiration of the Shared Prosperity Vision 2030. Dato Sri Dr. Wan Azizah, who is also Minister of Women, Family and Community Development, said firstly is the uplifting of the family institution, consisting of a diversity of generations. The second is to strengthen the role of the family in moulding noble values as the foundation of community unity, while the third, empowering the involvement of the community in the strengthening of a prosperous family support system. The fourth emphasizes on the importance of protecting the rights and safety of families, while the fifth principle, supporting all initiatives and uniting all sources to boost the strengthening of the marriage and family institutions. The final principle is to support efforts on the beneficial use of technology to improve the quality of life.
Deklarasi ini juga dirangka bertujuan untuk meningkatkan komitmen dan mengajak semua lapisan masyarakat supaya kembali memberi keutamaan terhadap institusi keluarga dalam segala usaha, perancangan dan tindakan.
The Election Commission has begun preparations for the Sarawak state election, rumored to be held as early as next year. Now, Chairman Dato Azhar Azizan Harun stressed that they have no indication as to when the polls will be called. Nevertheless, the Commission is preparing to face any eventuality, including the election being called in the first half of 2020.
Dato Azhar said EC Secretary Dato Muhammad Ilyas Abu Bakar has been going to the ground to prepare for any possibility.
Pertama sekali, SPR tidak tahu menahu tentang bila pilihan raya negeri Sarawak akan diadakan. Kita tak tahu langsung. Ya. Tapi of course, sebagai langkah persediaan, SPR telah pun memulakan tindakan persediaan untuk menguruskan pilihan raya Sarawak.
Although the mandate for the current Sarawak government will only expire in June 2021, rumours suggest that the next state polls will be called next year. In the last state election, which concluded on 7 May 2016, Gabungan Parti Sarawak, GPS, which was then a political ally of Barisan Nasional, or BN, won 72 out of the 81 state seats. The EC was allocated 11.75 million ringgit for the Sarawak election under the 2020 budget. Met by reporters today, Dato Azhar also dismissed claims that the EC is refusing to cooperate in a trial involving the Kimanis parliamentary constituency. On 16 August, the election court in Kota Kinabalu, Sabah, declared Dato Sri Anifah Aman's win in Kimanis in the GE14 null and void. This was after the court found serious irregularities in the election process by the EC.
On another matter, Dato Azhar said the Election Commission is studying the need for a special enforcement agency to probe and take action against perpetrators of election offences. Well, the EC chairman added that the formation of such agency, however, would require amendments to existing electoral laws.
Azhar said under the current framework, enforcement against perpetrators of offences during election would involve the police, adding that if the offences relate to corruption, then enforcement against such offences would be carried out by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC.
Dalam kerangka undang-undang yang sedia ada ni, penguatkuasaan ialah di pihak polis untuk kesalahan-kesalahan am seperti hate speech dan sebagainya, dan di pihak SPRM, Suruhanjaya Pencegah Rasuah Malaysia, untuk kesalahan rasuah ya, atau abuse of power. So itu dalam kerangka undang-undang yang sedia adalah. So sama ada kita mahukan satu agensi penguatkuasaan kesalahan pilihan yang khas, ya, di mana fungsi PDRM dan fungsi SPRM ini diambil alih oleh agensi tersebut, ya, sedang dilihat sekarang.
Speaking after attending the Commonwealth Election Professional CEP Initiative, Strengthening Electoral Democracy in Commonwealth Asia Training Program, Dato Azhar said the EC was also looking into updating the current provisions of the Election Offences Act 1954 and has set up a committee to study and review the matter.
Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng has refuted accusations that Putrajaya has treated Pulau Pinang like a stepchild or abandoned baby where federal allocations were concerned. Now, in a statement released today in his parliamentary constituency, Bagan, Lim said the federal allocation for Pulau Pinang was only 547 million ringgit in 2017 and 608 million ringgit in 2018. So Barisan Nasional was still in power in 2017 and up to April 2018. So according to Lim, the allocations jumped to 857 million and 980 million in the 2019 budget and the 2020 budget. Well, he said that these were irresponsible claims without fact and baseless. He added, in referring to facts and figures and not on fake and slanderous statements, the allocation for development in Pulau Pinang has actually increased. In Harapan's budget, compared to BN's time. Now, Lim was referring to certain quarters who claimed that Pulau Pinang continues to be treated as a stepchild by the federal government, although Putrajaya has been seized by Pakatan Harapan. On 23rd November, Pulau Pinang Gerakan chairperson Oh Tiong Kiong claimed that Lim admitted Pulau Pinang's allocation became far less than other states. He pointed out that Kelantan and Terengganu under the rule of PAS received 1.5 billion ringgit and 1.2 billion ringgit respectively, while Pulau Pinang only received about 900 million ringgit. Well, the parents should place more confidence and support on their children, taking technical and vocational education and training, or TVET. As Deputy Human Resources Minister Dato Mahfuz Omar said, this is because the field is capable of producing the local manpower needed by the industry and a nation to face Industrial Revolution 4.0, also known as IR 4.0.
Mahfuz Omar said the negative perception that technical and vocational education and training, TVET, is a second choice for weak students compared to conventional academic fields should be eliminated by parents.
Ini kerana persepsi masyarakat hari ini, ibu bapa, guru-guru di sekolah rendah, sekolah menengah dan sebagainya masih lagi melihat laluan akademik, tidak kepada laluan teknikal, laluan kemahiran ini. Sebab itu sekarang ini di peringkat kerajaan telah pun melihat ini merupakan satu keperluan. Mereka yang memiliki diploma dalam kemahiran ini boleh mengambil ijazah di peringkat universiti melalui projek MTUN itu sendiri.
He said this when replying to a supplementary question by Dato Sri Ismail Abdul Muttalib of Maran at the Dewan Rakyat. To empower TVET, Dato Mahfuz said his ministry is also focusing on TVET Tahfiz program as the first step to extend skills training to young Tahfiz students via a 2025 plan under the National Skills Development Council, which involves 6 ministries.
Well, meanwhile, Dato Mahfuz said the Human Resource Ministry has assisted 41,000 graduates to gain employment in various sectors. Dato Mahfuz added that the figures were recorded from January to October this year.
Dato Mahfuz said his ministry's Employment Gateway Jobs Malaysia played an instrumental role in securing employment for these graduates. In line with this, he added that Talent Corporation Malaysia Berhad Talent Corp, together with other agencies, will continue to develop graduate skills in the face of Industrial Revolution 4.0 or IR 4.0.
Ya, memang kita sedang bergerak ke arah tersebut, dan antaranya ialah dengan penubuhan jawatankuasa pemerkasaan TVET di bawah di peringkat kabinet yang dipengerusikan oleh Menteri Pendidikan dan membabitkan 9 kementerian yang core dalam TVET dan juga ada beberapa kementerian, semuanya 14 kementerian yang terlibat dalam untuk nak melihat soal-soal yang berkaitan untuk memastikan supaya tawaran pekerjaan yang diberikan oleh majikan itu harus diikuti oleh institusi-institusi pendidikan khususnya melalui TVET itu sendiri, insya-Allah.
He was replying to a question from Tanah Merah MP Dato Sri Iqmal Hisham Abdul Aziz, who wanted an update on employment of graduates. The Dewan Rakyat was also informed that as of October, there were 290,898 active job seekers in its registry, and of the total, 210,868 of them were graduates.
CIMB Bank Berhad and Sun Life Malaysia have teamed up to offer customers access to global healthcare through a new product called Sun Prestige Health, or SPH. Now, CIMB Group's Consumer Banking Chief Executive Officer, or CEO, Samir Gupta, said the non-participating Universal Life Plan is aimed at meeting customers' need for specialized medical expertise that may not be available in Malaysia. Speaking to reporters after the SPH launch today, Samir said the plan is designed for global coverage for customers as they can go to any hospitals anywhere in the world to get the best possible treatment.
Now, we've got about 70 products today between Sun Life and CIMB, and we believe that there is a need for protection at all times, really. And these times are there's never a right time or a wrong time to launch a good product. You want to keep adding more and more products and leave it in the hands of the customer. If they feel there's value in the product, they will choose it.
Meanwhile, Sun Life Malaysia's CEO President Raymond Liu described SPH as the latest in a long list of unique and tailor-made protection solutions in the company's ongoing efforts to provide consumers with lifetime financial security. And customers will be covered up to 16 million ringgit with access to world-leading medical treatment for selected covered conditions or procedures. If you've just joined us, welcome to News on 2. Now, a Johor Department of Environment, a DOE officer, was today charged at the Sessions Court over 4 counts of accepting bribes amounting to 7,200 ringgit 3 years ago. Now, Samsul Adli Muhammad Ali, 42, pleaded guilty and not guilty after all the charges were read by the interpreter before Judge Faiz Dizauddin. Well, according to the charge sheet, the accused, who was a control officer of the department at that time, received the money via the account of a company he owned from an individual with links to his official duties for 4 times from 1st December 2016 to 13 June 2017. Well, he was found committing the offences under Section 165 of the Penal Code, which provides for a jail term not exceeding 2 years or fine or both. Well, earlier, Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC prosecuting officer Ikhwan Ihsan Jalaluddin asked the court to impose bail of 8,000 ringgit for each offence. However, the accused lawyer, Muhammad Fazali Ali Muhammad Ghazali, appealed for the bail to be reduced as Samsul Adli is a father of 2 and is still supporting the family. The judge later allowed bail at 20,000 ringgit for all the charges in one surety, and the case will be re-mentioned on 22nd December. Well, 4 police reports have been lodged in Johor and Kuala Lumpur on the fake news about the alleged passing away of the Sultan of Johor, which went viral on social media. Well, following that, Bukit Aman, with the cooperation of the state police, will conduct an investigation to identify the culprit or culprits behind the fake news.
According to Johor Police Chief Dato Muhammad Kamaruddin Maddin, stern action awaits these irresponsible individuals.
Kita menasihatkanlah orang ramai supaya tidak membuat sesuatu yang boleh mengeruhkan keadaan, menjejaskan keharmonian negara dan sebagainya.
The case is being investigated under Section 4, Subsection 1 of the Sedition Act and Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act.
Perak police have succeeded in busting a drug processing syndicate with the arrest of 5 individuals, including a woman, in 3 raids around Ipoh last Friday. Now, Bukit Aman Narcotics CID Director Dr. Muhammad Khalil Kadir Muhammad said all suspects aged between 25 and 50 were apprehended in the raid conducted from 6:25 p.m. to 7:10 p.m.
Dato Muhammad Khalil said in the raid, police also smashed a drug processing laboratory valued at 603,165 ringgit and 50 sen.
Ialah 109.5 orang yang mana 4 orang lelaki dan seorang wanita, anggaran umur di antara 25 hingga 50 tahun, iaitu heroin sebanyak 43.5 kilo, kafein sebanyak 66.3 kilo. Jadi jumlah keseluruhannya ialah 109.8 kilo dengan nilai rampasan dadah yang dimakmal ini ialah sebanyak 603,165.50 sen.
Briefing reporters at the Perak Police Contingent Headquarters today, he said police also seized various equipment for drug processing and cash money, jewelry, vehicle and watches, all worth about 379,865 ringgit and 84 sen. According to Dato Muhammad Khalil, this is the largest drug seizure in Perak this year. Elaborating further, he said a man and a woman aged 49 were remanded for 6 days from Sunday under Section 39B of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952, while 3 other men were held under the Dangerous Drugs for Special Preventive Measures Act 1985.
Police have classified the death of an elderly couple who were killed in an apartment fire in Taman Meru Impiana, Ipoh early yesterday as murder. Now, Perak CID Chief SAC Anwar Uthman said the post-mortem conducted revealed stab wounds on both victims.
SAC Anwar said the case is now classified under Section 302 of the Penal Code.
Kita percaya daripada hasil post-mortem tu si isteri dah meninggal 24 jam. Dan kemungkinan juga selepas si isteri meninggal dan suami datang dan mungkin dia membuat kebakaran itulah, dia beli minyak dan terbakar.
Met at the scene of the incident, he said police are also actively looking for the alleged murder weapon. According to witnesses' accounts, a quarrel was overheard from the apartment and police are not ruling out altercations as a motive. Police were investigating various aspects of the case, including what transpired before the 3:30 a.m. fire.
Well, a woman was killed in a road accident involving 2 vehicles at Jalan Changkat Manjong, Changkat Jering in Manjong, Perak early this morning. And the victim, Nurlela Ahmad Tan, age 51, was confirmed dead at the scene while 4 others suffered injuries. Perak Fire and Rescue Department Chief Ismadi Darusman said the department received a distress call at about 6:30 a.m. before dispatching a response team to the scene. Upon arriving at the scene, the firemen found the woman pinned to the driver's seat of one of the cars. The firemen then extricated the body out of the car and immediately handed the victim's body over to the police for further action. Now, residents around Kampung Tambak Jawa, Kuala Selangor, were shocked by a fire and explosion of drums believed to contain chemical substances dumped in an illegal waste site earlier this morning. Well, Selangor Fire and Rescue Department said the department was alerted of the incident at about 3:30 a.m. and dispatched 2 fire engines and 15 firefighters from Kuala Selangor and Kapar to the scene at Jalan Kapar Batu 16. At the location, firemen found that the flame was caused by 270 drums containing chemical substances dumped in the area. The blaze covered an area of about 800 square meters and it was completely doused at about 6 a.m. today. The fireman involved in putting off the fire was brought to Kuala Selangor Hospital for health checkups afterwards. A local resident was also referred to the hospital for feeling dizzy and vomiting. Now, there were no fatalities reported and the cause of the fire and type of chemical found in the drums were being investigated. That's all the time we have this evening in our top story, uplifting family institutions through the Malaysian Family Declaration. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. Thanks for watching.